Imagine a custom Tesla Cybertruck screaming through the streets of Atlanta at 80 miles per hour, ending in a high-stakes standoff with the police. This isn't a scene from a blockbuster movie. It's the reality of King Harris's latest arrest, and this time, the stakes are higher than ever. But the real explosion didn't happen when the handcuffs clicked. It happened when a dark secret involving King's girlfriend was finally dragged into the light. As the body cam footage leaks, we see a side of King Harris that has left the internet speechless, and his father, T.I., absolutely losing control. From mysterious pills discovered during booking to a hidden role his girlfriend played in this legal nightmare, the King of the South is facing a family crisis that could dismantle his entire legacy. Was King being protected, or was he being set up? Stay tuned, because we are diving deep into the secret evidence, the courtroom drama, and the moment T.I. finally reached his breaking point. The world has always seen T.I. as a man who commands respect and maintains absolute control. You don't earn the title King of the South by letting things slide. His grip on his career, his legacy, and his family has always been ironclad. But on a humid night in April 2026, that control didn't just slip, it shattered. When a camo-wrapped Tesla Cybertruck tore through the streets of Atlanta, pushing 80 in a 45 zone, no one realized they were witnessing the beginning of a civil war within the Harris household. King Harris, the son who has spent years trying to outrun his father's shadow, was once again in the crosshairs of the law. But this time, it wasn't just a simple traffic stop. It was a catalyst for a family explosion. According to police reports from Gwinnett County, the pursuit began when officers spotted the futuristic truck weaving through traffic with a complete disregard for public safety. When the sirens wailed and the blue lights flashed, King didn't pull over immediately. Instead, he accelerated, turning a routine violation into a high-speed chase. When the vehicle finally screeched to a halt, the air was thick with tension. As officers approached the window with their hands on their holsters, they spotted a handgun sitting right on the dashboard. In the state of Georgia, carrying a weapon is a right, but the way it was displayed, combined with King's erratic behavior, set off every alarm bell in the book. But the real drama wasn't happening outside the car. It was brewing inside. King Harris wasn't alone. Sitting in the passenger seat was his girlfriend, a figure who has remained in the background of his social media posts but has now emerged as the hidden trigger of this entire catastrophe. Leaked body cam footage shows King refusing to step out of the vehicle. His attitude was beyond defiant. It was aggressive. He mocked the officers, calling them Team Rocket, and asking if they felt tough behind their badges. However, insiders close to the family suggest that King's explosive anger was actually a calculated distraction. He wasn't just being a rebel. He was trying to shield his girlfriend from the officer's sight. There were things in that truck that King desperately did not want the police to find. The situation escalated to a fever pitch when T.I. himself arrived on the scene. Imagine the sight. A father, a legend, showing up only to find his son in handcuffs for the umpteenth time. Witnesses say T.I.'s face was a mask of pure fury, but his anger wasn't just directed at the police. It was directed at the chaos his son had invited into their lives. The King lost his cool the moment he saw King's girlfriend arguing with the officers, reportedly whispering instructions to King even while he was being detained. T.I. attempted to de-escalate the situation, but for the first time, his authority was ignored. King turned on his father, shouting that he wasn't a kid anymore, a moment that reportedly left T.I. speechless with rage. The body cam footage captures the heartbreaking reality of a father watching his son throw his life away for clout. T.I. was heard shouting, "You're destroying your life, and you don't even see it." The irony was painful. King was dressed in a Pikachu onesie, looking like a child, yet facing felony-level consequences. The joke ended abruptly when the K-9 units and officers began a thorough search of the Cybertruck. Near the dashboard where the gun sat, they discovered more than just a weapon. They found prohibited substances and several oxycodone pills that hadn't been mentioned in the initial reports. When T.I. saw the evidence bags, the look in his eyes shifted from anger to genuine fear. The flow of this arrest was unlike anything the public had seen. It was a three-way collision. King's arrogance, T.I.'s crumbling control, and the mysterious girlfriend who was frantically making phone calls the entire time. T.I. began to realize that this girl wasn't just a partner. She was the architect of the environment that was leading King toward a prison cell. When T.I. demanded she leave the scene, she allegedly fired back with a comment about knowing things that the family wouldn't want public. That was the moment T.I. truly lost it. He had spent his life protecting his children from the street life he narrowly escaped, only to see his son embrace it under the influence of someone else. As King was hauled off to Gwinnett County Jail, the booking process revealed even more disturbing details. The pills found weren't just lost in the car. They were found in a way that suggested King was trying to hide them at the last second. This led to a felony drug possession charge and obstruction of justice. Outside the precinct, T.I. paced back and forth, surrounded by lawyers, realizing that this wasn't a situation he could just fix with a phone call. The secret exposure began to take shape. Sources claim T.I. discovered that the girlfriend had handed King the substances just seconds before the police reached the window. King was literally taking the fall to protect her. This is the point where the Harris family legacy hit a brick wall. T.I., the man who can navigate any boardroom or street corner, was powerless against his son's loyalty to a girl he barely knew. His loss of control wasn't just about the arrest. It was about the betrayal. He saw that his son valued the approval of a secretive girlfriend over the wisdom of a father who had been through the fire. This confrontation gave the Harris family's critics exactly what they wanted: a crack in the armor. But the story is only beginning. While part shows us the chaotic arrest and T.I.'s public breaking point, the real mystery lies in what happens next. Why was the girlfriend so desperate to stay in that car? What was on the phone she refused to hand over? And what is the secret role she played that T.I. is now desperately trying to keep from the press? As we move into part, the focus shifts from the flashing lights of the police cars to the dark secrets of the Harris inner circle. The pills, the gun, and the speed were just the symptoms. The girlfriend's hidden agenda is the real disease. Prepare yourself, because we are about to expose the history of this relationship and the moment T.I. realized his son wasn't just a rebel. He was a pawn in a much more dangerous game. While the world was fixated on the flashing lights and the sight of King Harris in a Pikachu onesie, a much darker story was unfolding inside that camo-wrapped Cybertruck. As King was defiantly mocking the Gwinnett County officers, his eyes weren't just on the police. They were constantly darting toward the passenger seat. Sitting there was his girlfriend, a figure who has quietly become the silent architect of King's increasingly reckless lifestyle. For T.I., this wasn't just an arrest. It was the moment the secret role of this mysterious woman was finally dragged into the light. The real exposure began when T.I. arrived on the scene and started piecing together the fragmented story from the officers and the leaked bodycam footage. King's refusal to exit the vehicle wasn't just a random act of rebellion. It was a stalling tactic. Reports suggest that as the police were ordering him out, his girlfriend was whispering in his ear, upping the ante. She wasn't calming him down. She was fueling the fire, telling him that he was King Harris, and he didn't have to listen to them. It was the ultimate clout trap, and King walked right into it. But the true breaking point for T.I. came when he learned about the oxycodone pills found during the booking process. The secret sacrifice became clear. Sources close to the situation claimed that when the police first approached the window, the girlfriend allegedly panicked and pushed certain illegal items toward King. Rather than letting her face the consequences, King, driven by a misplaced sense of street loyalty, took the fall. T.I., a man who survived the streets to give his children a better life, was forced to watch his son become a pawn in someone else's dangerous game. The King of the South didn't lose control because of the law. He lost control because he saw his son throwing his freedom away for someone who was leading him toward destruction. When T.I. confronted the girlfriend at the scene, the tension was radioactive. He reportedly asked her point-blank, "What are you doing to my son's life?" Her response, however, was a shock to everyone. Instead of backing down, she allegedly challenged T.I.'s authority, claiming that King was a grown man who made his own choices that T.I. could no longer control. This was a direct blow to the Harris family hierarchy. T.I. realized that the values he had instilled in his home were being dismantled by an outside influence he had completely underestimated. The drama didn't stop at the scene. While King was inside the precinct, cracking jokes about Master Balls and Team Rocket on Instagram, T.I. was discovering the extent of the girlfriend's influence through King's phone and financial records. It wasn't just about the drugs or the gun. It was about a lifestyle shift. This secret role involved pushing King toward a more dangerous image to boost social media engagement, a strategy that favored viral moments over real-world safety. T.I.'s frustration reached a boiling point when he saw King's immediate reaction after posting Bond. Instead of heading home to reflect, King went straight back to the very person T.I. had warned him about. This was the ultimate betrayal. T.I. took to social media with cryptic messages about snakes in the grass, a clear shot at the woman he believes is sabotaging his son's future. Tiny Harris, King's mother, tried to play the peacemaker, but the divide in the Harris mansion was already too deep. This part of the story leaves us at a crossroads. We see a father who is losing his grip on his legacy, and a son who is more loyal to a secret influence than his own flesh and blood. The arrest was just the symptom. The girlfriend's hidden agenda is the real disease. But the biggest question remains. What was the final secret that T.I. uncovered that night? The one thing that could actually end King's career for good? Prepare yourself for part where we head inside the Harris mansion for the final showdown. We'll break down the legal fallout, the hidden phone recordings, and the moment King Harris had to choose between his father's empire and the girl who almost landed him behind bars for life. The climax is coming, and it's a reality check that no one saw coming. When the jail doors swung open and King Harris stepped back into the Atlanta sun, the world thought the drama might settle down. But the real final showdown was just beginning behind the closed mahogany doors of the Harris mansion. For T.I., this was no longer just about a rebellious son. It was a collision of two different worlds. On one side stood a father who had bled and fought to build an empire from nothing, and on the other stood a son willing to set that empire on fire for a few million views and a social media trend. The details emerging from that night at the Harris estate are chilling. Sources say T.I. issued a final ultimatum to King. Choose the family and the legacy, or choose the girl who nearly cost him his freedom. T.I. was convinced that the secret exposure, the realization that King was being manipulated and used as a legal shield, proved that his girlfriend was a liability. But King Harris didn't flinch. In a moment that reportedly left T.I. devastated, King declared that he was his own man and that he no longer needed his father's permission to live his life. This was the moment the King of the South realized his crown held no weight in his own home. Beyond the family walls, the legal storm was gathering strength. Felony drug possession and obstruction of justice are heavy burdens to carry, especially for someone with a public profile. T.I.'s high-powered legal team began working around the clock, but they faced a major obstacle: the body cam footage. King's Team Rocket jokes and his blatant disrespect toward the officers gave prosecutors the perfect narrative, that the Harris son felt he was above the law. The Pikachu onesie wasn't funny anymore. It was being used as evidence of a lack of maturity and a disregard for the judicial system. Then came the final, most shocking revelation of the secret exposure. It was discovered that King's girlfriend hadn't just been a passenger. She had allegedly been secretly recording the private family arguments and the police confrontation on her own device. The suspicion grew that she was looking for content to use for her own brand or to sell to the highest bidder. When T.I. found out there was a mole in his inner circle turning his family's pain into a digital product, his fury reached a level we've never seen. He saw it for what it was: a total betrayal of the Harris name. Tiny Harris tried to play the role of the peacemaker, attempting to bridge the gap between her husband's discipline and her son's defiance. But T.I.'s stance remained unshakable. Either she goes or you go. King chose to walk. He took to social media shortly after, trolling his father and flaunting his independence. But the industry is asking, is this true freedom, or is King just trapped in a different kind of cage? The fallout for T.I.'s legacy is massive. He has always been a symbol of family values and street-smart discipline. Watching him appear as a helpless father on national headlines has shifted the public's perception. In a recent podcast appearance, a visibly tired T.I. remarked, "I can show my children the path, but I can't walk it for them." The pain in his voice was a rare glimpse into the man behind the persona. Now, as the court date looms, the stakes couldn't be higher. If King is convicted of the felony charges, he faces years behind bars. Will his girlfriend stand by him when the cameras are off and the prison doors close? Or will she disappear as quickly as she arrived? T.I. has provided the best lawyers money can buy, but he has also made it clear that King must face his karma alone this time. This script isn't just about a celebrity arrest. It's a cautionary tale about fame, loyalty, and the fragile nature of a legacy. T.I. lost control, King lost his way, and the girlfriend's secrets almost burned the house down. Whether King Harris will realize the value of his father's empire before it's too late remains to be seen. The Tesla Cybertruck is still moving fast, but its next stop might be a reality check that no amount of clout can fix. The Harris family legacy is at a crossroads, and everyone has an opinion. But I want to hear from you. Is T.I. being too harsh, or is King Harris completely out of line? Drop a comment below and let's get the conversation started. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss a breaking industry expose. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.